Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And AT&T, once again, they win root metrics overall. I'll leave a link to this in the description down below so you guys can check it out. AT&T maintains its lead in national and state testing. AT&T won or shared the most United States root score awards of any carrier for the fourth consecutive time. AT&T also edged past Verizon to earn the most state root score awards for the third straight testing period. And the carrier's results in major cities were also strong. AT&T again had the second highest tally of metro area root score awards, and due in part to the carrier's continued integration of C-band spectrum, AT&T showed improved speeds since the second half of 2022 testing. So very interesting, right? AT&T took number one overall. Can't deny that, can't dispute it. That's what the numbers show. It's a fact. I do believe Verizon will overtake them in the second half of 2023 testing. Just too much C-band at a much bigger scale than AT&T. And I think eventually it will start showing. Verizon today announced they covered 222 million people with C-band. Later on in a video for the members, I'll get into where the team is expecting to be at the end of the year. If you guys want to get into that, a link to that will be in the description as well. But AT&T will likely get to that 195, 200 million pop number by the end of the year. But Verizon will be already starting to cut into that state score award with C-band actually live on towers. Now that they're past 200, right, they're at 222 million. That means they're starting to scale C-band. The geographic footprint is much more spread out now where they're touching these towers. And AT&T has a solid network in those areas as well via FirstNet, but Verizon will just simply be a lot faster in those areas because of C-band. But that's not to take away from AT&T today. They came out ahead by 0.1 or 0.1, I should say. And it's a very, very tight race. AT&T came out ahead, but I think Verizon is going to overtake them. Just too much money going into it, too aggressive of a build, and it will show eventually. Now, that's not to take away from AT&T. As I mentioned, they still do a great job. They tallied together 405 awards in the Metro Core. That's still second, although that gap is a little wider, in my opinion. Verizon has 736, if I remember right. Let me just check that real quick. It's listed on here, 763. And then T-Mobile at 325. I think, by my estimations, T-Mobile should get closer to that 400 number fairly quickly. T-Mobile is hitting 300 million pops covered with 2.5 this year. They should be on their way of finishing the Sprint Keep sites, although they say they virtually finished the Sprint Keep sites. There's still a lot of Sprint Keep sites being converted. Trust me on that. So that should be closer. So AT&T will have to continuously upgrade. They will have to continue to invest in the wireless network. Again, they're not done investing in the wireless network. They never said so. The thing that they said is they're more focused on fiber, which I understand. I completely understand that. I don't see them becoming a main priority pure wireless player anymore. So a big chunk of the capital investment from AT&T moving forward is simply going to fiber. But that doesn't take away that they still have a very solid wireless network, and the numbers support that. Right? If we look at the overall score, they scored number one in overall reliability, speed, data, call, and text. That's a solid network, in my opinion. Now, the accessibility, that kind of shows that they might lack some densification, which most of you and we already know, right? Will they fill in those densification gaps? They might get there depending on the market share in a given market, but they're not going to prioritize a certain big spend on investing into big densification, when the network is performing the way it is. So once again, AT&T finished number one overall on root metrics, the most comprehensive scientific testing firm out there. So it's good showing from AT&T. Competition is good, right? I think Verizon will overtake them in the second half of 2023. I could be wrong, but I think that's going to happen. And I think T-Mobile is getting ready to severely improve on route metrics. If they can just get that calling under control, they will severely get many, many more awards, in my opinion. Now, if the voice over NR backfires and the calling gets worse, then you can forget it. T-Mobile is probably going to be worse than they were in this testing. But let's hope for the best, see if they improve. But for now, AT&T number one. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section down below. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. See y'all in the next one. Peace.